In 2013 alone, more than 2,200 business establishments were inspected to see if they had adequate safety regulations to protect workers. It's part of government's Occupational Safety and Health Program, which we'll tell you more about in this midweek edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Within the package, we'll also give you some tips on how to eliminate plant pests from your garden and much more. After the break, the news comes your way, then we jump right in. Stick around.
Musicians, users of music instruments. If you're a registered member of the Jamaica Federation of Musicians or the Recording Industry of Jamaica, you may apply for a waiver of duty on the importation of music equipment. You'll need to submit the following: a letter of request to the Film Commission or Creative Industries Unit and a pro forma invoice detailing the items being imported with corresponding serial numbers and costs. Jamaica Promotions Corporation JAMPRO will submit the documents to the Ministry of Finance for approval. You must get approval before the items arrive. For more information on the Music Tools of Trade incentive, click on the Tourism and Entertainment Ministry's website at mot.gov.jm or call the Ministry's Entertainment Division at 920-4926-30.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your GIS News for Wednesday, January 29. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has called for a unified approach in dealing with the challenges facing Latin American and Caribbean countries.
We have the collective wisdom and strength to overcome poverty, hunger, and inequality. We should not underestimate the full potential of our region.
Mrs. Simpson Miller was addressing day one of the plenary session of the second summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, SLUGS. Cuba's President Raul Castro opened the summit with a call for a greater spirit of unity among member states in an effort to further eradicate the developmental challenges of poverty, illiteracy, and inequality. The second SLUGS summit is being held under the theme, The Struggle Against Hunger, Poverty, and the Inequalities in Latin America and the Caribbean. And before heading to Cuba, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller signaled government's resolve to grow the economy and create employment through creativity. While not ignoring the tight fiscal space now facing the country, she said government was pursuing several initiatives to move the nation forward.
In pursuit of our objective of economic and employment growth, we are seeking to resuscitate those traditional economic activities in which we have already established competence and expertise capable of meeting world competition.
Government is adamant that it has no intention of increasing the tax on petroleum products. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips made the disclosure in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday.
The issue to be studied concerns the relative merits of collecting the tax on fuel by way of a special consumption tax. It is not the intention of the government to increase the net revenue take from petroleum products.
The minister said the administration was more focused on the tax reform process and said during this quarter, a blueprint for tax reform would be considered by the Tax Committee of Parliament. Tax Administration Jamaica will also implement the third-party information provisions of the Revenue Administration Act.
Starting April 2014, businesses in selected sectors will be required to submit detailed information relating to their depositors, independent contractors, suppliers, and business customers.
Come next week, the IMF mission to Jamaica will begin reviewing the country's performance for the quarter ending December 2013. The finance minister told Parliament Tuesday that based on the government's assessment, all quantitative targets and structural benchmarks for the October to December period were met. So far, Jamaica has passed 2 IMF tests, which resulted in a total drawdown of $270 million from the fund.
The focus of the government going forward is on maintaining our basic fiscal targets, including specifically the primary surplus targets of 7.5%, which may require adjustments either on the revenue or the expenditure side.
Meanwhile, as at December 2013, he said the net international reserves stood at approximately $1.53 billion US. Following real GDP growth of 0.5% for the September quarter, the Jamaican economy is expected to continue expanding. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce Anthony Hilton is refuting media reports that government has signed off with China Harbour Engineering Company CHEC for the development of a transshipment port at Goat Islands. Minister Hilton says government can only do so when a proposal is submitted, and the CHEC has until January month end to do so.
If it goes on to the second day of February, the second week, the proposal is to work towards the end of January timeline, by which time the government will be clear about what proposal CHEC is making. Then and only then can the government have a sense as to whether it is prepared to support what is being proposed, and if it decides to support what is being proposed, then for it to be implemented, it must go through the environmental rigors as required by law.
And finally, the Linstead to Monique section of the much-anticipated north-south leg of Highway 2000, which runs between Kingston and Ocho Rios, is expected to be completed by July of this year. Confirmation came during the recent Jamaica Logistics Hub Sensitization Symposium in Kingston. President and CEO of the Port Authority of Jamaica, Professor Gordon Shirley, said the completion of Phase 2 would complement the Spanish Town to Linstead and Monique to Ocho Rios legs. They are scheduled to be completed in January 2016. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
Safety tips are good in any setting, not least of all the office, with all the heavy equipment that some of us have to work with each day. And government has recognized that establishing workplace safety guidelines is not only beneficial, but necessary. Watch this.
Achieving the goal of job creation and economic growth has several dimensions. One of them is enforcing occupational safety and health regulations, basic standards which make provisions to eliminate hazards in the workplace, allowing workers to carry out their duties in a safe environment, and limiting psychological stress which can limit their productivity. In an effort to meet its obligations under the International Labour Organization, the ILO's Decent Work Agenda, the Labour Ministry is working to implement a comprehensive policy for occupational safety and health (OSH) by the end of March. With assistance from the United States Agency for International Development (USAID), an OSH policy profile for Jamaica was developed and launched in December.
Its objective is to measure the state of our occupational safety and health awareness and response in order to develop and implement a quality program for Jamaica.
It outlines all the tools and resources available in a country to implement and manage occupational safety and health.
Previous rules regarding health and safety at the workplace were contained in 3 pieces of legislation: the Factories Regulations of 1961, the Building Operations and Works of Engineering Construction Regulations of 1968, and the Ship and Docks Regulations, also instituted in 1968. Together, these provided guidelines for the operation of factories, the construction industry, and activities at the country's ports of entry. They included regulations governing safety gear, the proper proper operation of machinery, the use of chemicals, ventilation and air quality in buildings, inspection and proper procedures for reporting accidents and other concerns. The new OSH Act to be implemented is intended to build on these rules and introduce some new provisions.
The new Act will cover everybody, including self-employed persons, the agricultural workers, workers in offices, the public sector workers, workers in the financial industry. We look at the minimum wage as well as the national workplace policy on HIV/AIDS.
This policy seeks to uphold and reinforce the fundamental right of workers to be treated with respect and dignity, and speaks to the prevention of stigma and discrimination in the workplace.
The workplace policy on HIV/AIDS, which was also launched in December, received full approval by both Houses of Parliament in February 2013. With the Occupational Safety and Health Act coming soon, it means companies need to get on board now in an effort to strengthen their occupational safety and health procedures. Thankfully, the OSH division of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security provides assistance through its voluntary compliance program, which already had 276 participants at the end of November 2013. Companies signing on will receive training, guidance, and support material to help in the effort. As it regards the HIV/AIDS workplace policy,
A pilot was implemented with 15 companies from the food industry, focused on HIV and food preparation. The focus was on investigating facts to prove that HIV cannot be transmitted through food, and therefore exclusion of a positive person from the workplace is not necessary.
9 of the 15 companies have already drafted proclamations to advance their non-discrimination policy. The ministry has also engaged a consultant to develop a protocol for managing workers affected by HIV and AIDS in the overseas work programs. Through the implementation of the new Occupational Safety and Health Act, the aim is to protect the interest of workers by minimizing injuries and illnesses and eliminating cases of discrimination that can occur in the workplace. By doing this, an enabling workplace climate will be created, and that will influence productivity and economic growth. Public consultation on the OSH Act is to begin in February, but if you want to learn more, contact the Occupational Safety and Health Department at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, 1F North Street, Kingston. Telephone 922-9500-14 or 967-2090-2. Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller visited Cuba this week to, among other things, participate in the second summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States. Since 1972, when official diplomatic relations between Jamaica and Cuba began, the two countries have enjoyed fruitful partnerships. One such collaboration is in the area of healthcare, and the Jamaica-Cuba Eye Care program stands as testimony to that. Here's more.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pretended that you could not see? That might give you an idea of how it is to be blind. The good news is that help is available to make sure that blindness for you remains only a pretense. It's what the Jamaica-Cuba Ophthalmology Center has been doing, helping to prevent blindness by providing quality eye care. The center was officially opened in January 2010 at the St. Joseph's Hospital in St. Andrew. The opening of the center is part of the agreement under the Jamaica-Cuba Eye Care program, which was signed in July 2009. The facility serves Jamaica and the English-speaking Caribbean, but Jamaican residents do not pay for the services offered. Surgeries began in March 2010, and so far there have been over 50,000 consultations, 5,000 surgeries, and 15,000 post-operative sessions held.
This program touches Jamaicans in the field because the screening takes place in the field, and the two teams go into the field, see the patients, and determine who should come in for further assessment and surgery if necessary.
So what is responsible for the program achieving that tremendous success?
The success of this program has to be attributed to the high level of efficiency of the team. They are very skilled, they take their work seriously, and they are 100% committed to the cause. We have a set of Jamaicans working on the program. We have a set of medical and technical staff working who have come from Cuba working under the program, and they work very well together. And at the focus, or at the center of all of this, is the patient's care.
Before this center was opened, patients under the Jamaica-Cuba Eye Care program were transported to the Spanish-speaking island for treatment. That is a thing of the past. According to the Ministry of Health, the Jamaica-Cuba Eye Care program has allowed the country to have a sustainable national program that serves every segment of the population.
The Jamaica-Cuba Eye Care program is a successful South-South cooperation, and it proves that collaboration between developing countries can be done and can be done successfully.
I did an operation and it was good, and I am glad I get the opportunity to do it.
I do my 2 operations. They are so successful, and I can drive and see nicely. I'm cool. It is wonderful.
They have a wonderful program, very nice program, and they know what they are doing.
The program operates through 4 phases: selection of persons for surgery, surgical services and laser treatment, follow-up post-operative care, and strengthening the capacity of Jamaican doctors and nurses. At present, the Jamaica-Cuba Eye Care program caters for 3 eye conditions: cataract, that is, opacity of the lens; pterygium, fleshy growth over the eye; and diabetic retinopathy, that is damage to the back of the eye or excessive blood vessel growth from uncontrolled diabetes.
For persons wanting to access the program, I could say to you that the process is very simple. All you simply need to do is visit your health center, speak with your medical practitioner. He will provide you with a referral for you to visit the ophthalmology center. And with that referral, you walk into any one of our screening sessions. And from there, you'll be given an appointment if you're selected and so on. And it's smooth sailing from there.
Very often we sign bilateral arrangements. We hear about government-to-government cooperation, but really and truly, it is, I keep saying, where the rubber hits the road that the program meets success. And I think we have worked very, very well at the operational level to make this program a success.
We look forward with great anticipation for the continuation and sustainability of this project.
I needed help to expand my business, but the banks only wanted to be up in my business. The high interest rates were killing my business. They're never really business with my business.
At the Exim Bank, we have your business needs covered. Our application process is easy, and we provide loans at competitive rates for the productive sector. From renewable energy projects and working capital to plant upgrades or expansion and export financing. Come in and talk to us today. The Exim Bank. On the road to success, you are going to want us in your business.
Being efficient in the workplace is not by accident, but the result of proper planning and a commitment to excellence. By following some simple tips, you can ensure that whether you are in management or simply a worker in any organization, you can help to make it more productive. How about setting clear goals each day, working to meet them in order of priority and establishing time limits as a guide? If you're working as part of a team, ensure there is effective communication and that everyone understands their assigned roles. Keep workspaces and documents organized, reduce wastage and schedule regular maintenance for critical pieces of equipment. Breaking large assignments into smaller tasks will make them easier to complete. Think about the customers that buy into the product and what you can do to meet or even exceed their expectations each time, then go for it. For more practical tips, feel free to contact the Jamaica Productivity Center by calling 922-1598 or 948-6168 or visit their website jpc.com.jm. We can all benefit from making business productivity a priority as we strive to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite.
Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents, and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
we as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together
as one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to
live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
One of the biggest challenges home gardeners face is controlling pesky insects. So while you may be looking forward to eating your fruits and vegetables when they're ready, you are certainly not the only one. Many types of insects are looking forward to eating them too.
There are many common pests that invade our gardens, such as sucking insects, which suck the fruit as they grow or suck the sap from the stems and leaves. Other types bore holes in the leaves. There are also slugs and snails, nematodes which live in the soil and attack the roots of the plants, and some birds which become nuisances when vegetables get to a mature stage. By preparing the land prior to sowing and spacing your plants so that they are not crowded or shaded, pests won't have the conditions or environment they need to take hold. You may consider integrated pest management (IPM) as an approach to gardening. This method incorporates the use of current comprehensive information on the life cycles of pests and their interaction with the environment. This information, in combination with available pest control methods, is used to manage pest damage by the most economical means and with the least possible hazard to people, property, and the environment.
There's so much that's done to ensure our gardens are pest-free, but sometimes these pests find access points. Master Gardener Rashida Linton will be showing us how to make homemade remedies to combat pests. Alright, how does it go now?
You know, Chariad, for persons who have a little garden at home, instead of going out to purchase those chemicals, you can actually make your own.
Okay.
What you need garlic, onion, pepper, liquid soap, neem leaves, and water, along with your strainer and the containers. Now, what we're going to do, you're going to chop all the items, the onions, the garlic, the pepper.
Okay.
Chop them finely or blend it in your blender. You're going to add 1 tablespoon of liquid soap to that amount. Pour a little water and allow it to seep overnight.
Okay.
That is all. Then you're going to add this mixture to 1 gallon of water to spray your plants. But remember, only soft-bodied insects such as aphids, whiteflies or snow scales you should use the homemade pesticides for. When you are spraying, ensure to spray the underside as well as the top side of the leaf. So this is just one homemade remedy. A second one, just simple soap water. What you need to do, you can also add 1 tablespoon of liquid soap to a gallon of water.
Okay.
Shake it, put it in your spray bottle and spray your plants. Or after washing, the same wash soap, as long as there's no bleach in the soap, you can use it to pour onto your plants. So it's very simple. Next, what we can do, these are called neem. Neem, N-E-E-M, neem.
Okay.
So you're going to take the neem leaves, pour it into your container, add a little water, allow this to seep overnight.
Okay.
Then you're going to use your strainer, strain it into your container, then add that mixture to a gallon of water and spray your plants as well.
Okay, simple stuff.
They're very simple.
Master Gardener Linton, is there a particular time that you actually spray the plants though?
Yes, since it's organic, we prefer you to spray early in the morning when the wind is relatively low.
Okay, early morning.
Early.
All right, simple stuff.
There are a few other pest control tips and homemade things you can use. Ashes, which can be sprinkled onto the soil to deter slugs and snails. Eggshells, which when crushed and circled around your plant, deter slugs and snails from feasting. These slimy creatures don't like to cross over the sharpness of crushed eggshells. If you don't want to save up all your eggshells, there's another alternative: bear. Yes, bear. Apparently, snails love the sweet, sour, and yeasty smell of bear. All you need is a large plastic bottle about 12 inches high. Cut the container in two, about 1/4 inch from the top, so that the container is at least 8 inches deep. Dig a hole in the center of your raised bed and set in the container so that the sides are level with the top of the soil. Then, fill the container halfway with bear and leave it. The slugs and snail will be drawn to the bear, drop in, and they won't be able to climb out. They'll drown, but at least they'll drown happy.
By being pest-wise, you'll soon have a lush garden with fruits and vegetables ready for you to pick and eat. But you must remember to pick them at the right time, because if they stay too long, they'll decay. And if you pick them when they're too young, their post-harvest life will be limited.
Excess moisture will cause your crop to decay, so avoid reaping when there is heavy dew and in the rain. If you wash them to get rid of any soil, make sure you dry them thoroughly before putting them away. Refrigeration will help vegetables to last longer as well, but some fruits and vegetables like tomatoes should not be refrigerated. Most root crops like garlic can last for some time outside of the refrigerator. Avoid putting any of your fruits and veggies in plastic bags in the fridge. They need to stay as ventilated as possible. The best way to maximize the quality and nutrition of the vegetables you grow is to cook and eat them as soon as possible after picking.
Food is of utmost importance because it provides the body with nutrients. These nutrients are necessary because they help with the repair, growth, maintenance, and development of our bodies.
So you see, having a backyard garden is a sure way of ensuring you eat properly grown food, save money, and reduce food wastage. Backyard living, not bad at all.
This is where we end the program today, but you can keep up with us by sending an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or dropping a message on our Twitter page at JIS News. Our YouTube channel has this and other programs that you may have missed, so don't hesitate to log on and visit our website as well. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you another in the series. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.